Did that just happen? Was that a clear robbery? Surely this has never happened before.
I got it 116, 111, 8 rounds to 4, Sergey Kovalev.
And new unified.
Well, what does Harold Letterman know about boxing? He's not even an official scorer. An experienced fighter knows when they've clearly won, right?
And new lightweight.
If these professional judges are getting the decisions wrong, do you even know who really won a fight? Boxing is scored through the 10-point must system. Anybody who's watched boxing for a while knows the general concept of it, but let's make it clear for everybody from the boxing veterans to the newbies. Before the 10-point must system, there was no standardized universal scoring system. There were scoring systems like most knockdowns or winner by referee's choice, but the varying scoring methods caused inconsistencies in scoring as fights were evaluated differently depending on the governing body. Due to this, in 1968 the World Boxing Council created the 10-point must system, and it is still the method we use to score today. Every system has its pros and cons, so let's get into the nitty-gritty so you can spit facts next time your homie tests your boxing IQ. Boxing's 10-point must system can be simply explained by its name. 10 points must be awarded to at least one boxer. Big emphasis on at least. More on this later. The boxer receiving the 10 points being the winner of the round. Boxing has had many controversial decisions. Canelo Triple G 1 and 2 for example, or more recently like Lomachenko vs Haney. This is why it is important to know what makes a fighter the winner of the round. The winner of the round is decided 80% on effective aggressiveness, 15% on ring generalship, and 5% on pure aggressiveness. I'm sure you've heard people say things like he was the more effective fighter, or he was the fighter establishing ring generalship, but what do they mean by that? According to the WBC, effective aggressiveness is connecting punches with power, number, and accuracy to the legal points of the body or face, no matter the direction you move. This means a boxer that moves side to side or backwards can win a fight as long as he is landing in number, powerfully, accurately, and cleanly more than his opponent. Meaning a fighter like Mayweather, who makes his opponents miss often or land unclean shots, is taking their effectiveness in the ring away. This also means when a fight has little to no action or landed punches from either side, the boxer who is more aggressive or looking to initiate will win the fight, which is what the WBC defines as pure aggressiveness. So being a dog in the ring does have its advantages. So we know what makes an effective fighter, but what gives them ring generalship? The phrase gets thrown out a lot in reference to who's controlling the fight, so what does it actually mean? Ring generalship is defined as to excel in the ring by moving aggressively or defensively to maneuver the opponent so he cannot use his own skill. This applies whether against the ropes, in the corners, or in the center of the ring. Here are some examples of ring generalship by the WBC. The aggressor not letting his rival to perform, not allowing them to box, or a boxer not allowing the puncher to punch, making him miss and stumble. Whose style dominated the round is what decides who established ring generalship. So when we see Bernard Hopkins circle around his opponent, landing a quick shot, and then immediately exiting, he is asserting ring generalship because he is making aggressor's style less effective. On the flip side, when we see a fighter like Chocolatito use effective pressure to slowly break down his light-footed opponents round by round until they move less and less, we are witnessing ring generalship. In summary, the fighter with established ring generalship is the one who is forcing the reactions of the opponent to be in his favor. So remember, the winner of the round is determined 80% on effective aggressiveness, 15% on ring generalship, and 5% on pure aggressiveness. As we know in boxing's 10-point must system, the boxer who dominates wins the round and receives 10 points scored, the clear loser of the round getting 9 points or less. Anytime a knockdown has occurred, the loser will be deducted of an additional point. So if a fighter has been dropped 3 times in a round and the fighter is somehow able to continue, it is now a 10-6 round. Now there is a catch to the knockdown rule. WBC rules state that no round shall be scored lower than 10-6 regardless of the number of knockdowns of the same boxer. So in theory, you could get knocked down 10 times and only lose 3 points and a whole lot of brain cells. In total, there are 3 ways a boxer can lose additional points in a fight. Points are deducted due to knockdowns by referee choice, due to illegal blows, holds, etc., or by a judge's choice. This is where I believe it gets tricky. For instance, a 10-8 round can be scored due to a knockdown, but If there is an overwhelming advantage, a point can also be deducted. In the words of the WBC, a real beating by one of the boxers over the other shall be always a 10-8 round. This complicates things a bit. Yes, we can all tell when a fighter's been clearly dominated, without a doubt, but just look at the definition of the WBC's 10-7 round. A 10-7 score shall be given when the same boxer is knocked down twice in the same round, or when the boxer who was knocked down once is impressively overwhelmed by the opponent for the rest of the round. In a round where a boxer has been dropped, it is clear that he has been impressively overwhelmed. This makes it too easy for judges to tack off a point due to bias. An overwhelming impression is an opinion and makes it easy for fighters to get robbed of a win or even cause a draw. This isn't done often by the judges, but we've seen crazier things happen in the ring. Just ask Adelaide Bird. What if a judge can't tell who was more effective, controlled the ring, generalship, or was more aggressive? You could say that this would make it an even round. A 10-10 round maybe? Is it even allowed? Well, yes, it's just not used very often. A 10-10 round is allowed by the WBC when a judge's mental computation at the end of the round is not clear enough to score the round in favor of either. If more judges abided to this, we would see fairer judging. I believe close fights like Lomachenko-Haney with pivotal rounds where it is hard to decide who the clear winner is should be awarded a 10-10 round rather than 10-9s chosen at a whim. It clearly states in the WBC handbook that it would be highly unfair and a betrayal to justice and to the boxers to score a round in favor of boxers if at the end of the round you are not 100% certain of a winner. Score 10-10. If fights had more 10-10 rounds, then the clear winner would be chosen, and if a fight ended in a draw, it would be easier to get the rematches to happen. And that's everything on boxing's 10-point must system.
To this day!